To our daily show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Against the wind, we were running against the wind. We were young and strong, we were running against the wind.
Here we go. What time is it? 9:21 on this 14th day of November, a Tuesday in downtown Alton. Shannon Stelling, Home Builders Remodelers of the Metro East. Mike Needles, the president of the organization, on the line now. Happy Tuesday to both of you. How are we doing?
Great. Good morning, CJ. It's so good to talk to you.
Good morning.
Great to talk to both of you as well. How are things gearing up? We're only a few months away from the Home Expo already.
I know. Can you believe it? It's coming fast. Well, first Christmas is going to be here, and everybody's freaking out about that, you know.
Well, I was just seeing, I don't know if you guys experienced this at all in your guys' meetings, but so many people were promoting, hey, if you call us now, we'll have those cabinets done before the family's over for Thanksgiving dinner, for Christmas dinner. I love it. People are ready to get their houses looking nice again.
That's exactly right. And then the Home Expo is right around the corner. And I got to tell you, there's some really exciting things happening for this expo this year. We're going to be well over 100 booths. The Clydesdales are going to be visiting. Some Clydesdales that have retired from Bush are going to be visiting the Home Expo on Saturday and Sunday. So that's kind of fun. And then remember us talking the last time that there's going to be some awesome giveaways this year at the Home Expo? Do you remember that conversation, CJ?
I do remember that conversation.
Well, the big announcement today, your audience is the first to hear. We have a hot tub that is retail value of $18,000 that one consumer will win on Sunday at the end of the expo. So everybody can come out to the expo for 3 days, March 8th, 9th, and 10th. It's free to get in. It's free to park. They will get an entrance into the prizes that we're giving away all weekend. So there'll be a prize every hour of the expo and then the big prize on Sunday. But if they bring in dog food, cat food, treats, or toys for the Belleville Humane Society, they will get a second entry into all the prizes that we're giving away. So there's some amazing stuff that's happening. And the HBR is so proud of all of our members that want to get involved and show consumers all the latest, greatest things in homes, in remodeling, new homes being built, or just special projects that you might have at your home.
You can't just throw an $18,000 hot tub in front of me and not get away that easy. How did this come about? What a prize.
Yeah, we're pretty excited. So Hot Tubs of St. Louis, which is a company that is a member of the HBR, has decided to really get involved. They're one of our main sponsors for the event. We also have Lisi Lumber, who's a main sponsor. We have C.A. Jones Homes. We have the Carpenters Union, Local 662, and then our Union Carpenters Council. So all of these companies have come together to make this show amazing. And St. Louis Hot Tubs, they stepped up to the plate and said, you know what, let's give one of these amazing hot tubs away to the consumers to come out and support this organization. And remember, we're also going to have all those youth performances. Yeah. I'm really excited to announce that the Special Olympics dance team and Special Olympics cheer team, and they have a couple of performing groups, are going to be performing at one day during the Home Expo. There'll be a schedule that'll be posted in January of all the groups performing and the times that they'll be performing on the main stage at the event as well.
That's incredible. I mean, that's really cool. And just the variety and just diversity that we're having for this expo in terms of different organization groups and everyone coming in together. Hey, Mike, being the president of the organization, how does it feel to see all this coming together for a really cool event? I mean, you guys do this really well all year, but to see it really coming into fruition's got to be exciting.
Oh, it's very exciting. We have amazing exhibitors who come and exhibit their wares every year, but to have these different groups come in, the dance team and the cheer team, to get a hot tub donated by our vendors, it's just an amazing opportunity. It's a great chance to bring our community together at this location, and a great opportunity for, like I said, for all our exhibitors to show off what they have to the consumer.
Absolutely. And Mike, take me through what your role and responsibility is day in and day out with the organization. I'm sure, like Shannon, you guys have a pretty busy plate.
We sure do. As the president of the organization, it's my job to oversee kind of the committees and the council meetings that set the agendas, to provide support to all of our members when they have questions, to provide support to Shannon, who runs the staff in the office. You know, I get the privilege of going out and representing our industry at different events, meeting with local state representatives, legislatures, mayors, city councils, building officials, just kind of to talk about the things that affect our industry. I get the privilege of going out to the schools and talking to the kids, you know, let them know that a career in the trades is definitely an awesome opportunity. It pays just as well as some other careers that require college first. But this one, you don't have to go into debt to get the skills that you need. So it's a great position to be in. You know, I've been privileged to have it this year, and you know, it's great to be able to do this.
100%. And then circling back into the Home Expo, which is March 8th through the 10th, 2024. Shannon, are exhibitor and sponsorship options still available? Because I know exhibitors were that was pretty much filling up. Are sponsorships still there?
Yeah, we still have some sponsorship opportunities. One of the ones I'm going to mention specifically, you know, I talked about the Humane Society. We are going to be doing pet adoptions with the Humane Society on Saturday and Sunday. And those hours will be posted on the website in January, what the schedule for the adoptions are. But we do have sponsorships left for those adoptions. The HBR has spearheaded to get at least 20 pets adopted and us pay the adoption fee for them. So there are $500 sponsorships available through the HBR where any company or individual could sponsor a pet adoption for the Home Expo. We thought it was a great way to give back to the Humane Society and help all of our fur babies find some great homes.
Well, 100%. And I think that just goes hand in hand really with what to me, and this is just someone that's kind of, you know, the outsider looking in. I'm just, you know, I just talk with you guys, but to me, this is about what home is like. You know, you have your pets a part of your home, and whether you're remodeling to make it more accessible for everybody, you know, every part of life that home encounters as being a part of this expo. Am I kind of picking up to something here?
Yeah, you are. You know, and one of the goals was for the organization this year that we show people that the Illinois side, we got it going on.
We do.
We can feature our schools. It's not just happening in Missouri all the time. And, you know, this gives us an opportunity to come full circle, to feature some of our businesses, our builders, our companies that provide supplies to the home industry, our remodeling companies. It can also feature our schools and education here on the Illinois side, and then also feature some of the great nonprofit organizations and groups that have things like dance teams and things like that. So we wanted to really have a round, complete picture of what's available in Illinois. And I'm expecting that we're going to see people from Missouri, from Kentucky, from maybe even Tennessee that come to this expo. There's some unique vendors there and things. For example, how many people have seen an actual blacksmith at a Home Expo before? Well, if you haven't, you will at the Home Expo in March for the HBR. So I'm really trying to bring in some different things and unique items that give people some fun stuff to talk about, look at, and get some great information. And, you know, CJ, I'm going to circle around to something else Mike said. He talked about the schools and education, and you and I have talked about this subject several times, the workforce problem. We are continued as an organization to focus on that. Today, as a matter of fact, the HBR will be at the Cave, which, as you know, is in Belleville, the big trades program that was built for Belleville school districts and other districts that are using it. And I'll be talking to about 800 to 1,000 juniors and senior students and talking to them today about why careers in construction can be so beneficial to them and how much they're needed.
Oh, man, you aren't kidding, you know. And what I think's amazing, Shannon, I hinted on this when we've talked before, and Mike, I haven't said this to you yet, but down here in Alton, there's so many folks that are, you know, 24 years old that decided, hey, I'm not going to do this, you know, traditional college route and doing this accounting or doing whatever. I'm going to start a independent contractor business. I'm going to remodel. I'm going to do that. And it's just amazing. We have so many young individuals, about 6 or 7, that are just doing phenomenal work and doing it the right way. And it's great to see.
Oh, absolutely. You know, our membership, and the great thing about our members, we don't just have the top quality contractors for remodelers and home builders. in our affiliates, but we're so active in our community. You know, we're so active in the nonprofits and the Illinois Center for Autism and other things that our members do to help support our community, bring them together. So we're just privileged to do this, you know, and to have our membership be as active as we are, kind of like the Home Expo. It's a fun time. It's not just, hey, here's what we sell, but it's about bringing the community together at that event and just having a good old time for the community.
Absolutely. Illinois Center for Autism, I was just on the show a couple of days ago, too. Love Rachel. She does a great job. On top of it all, I am on the HBRMEA.org website, and I'm on your events. Do you want to fill me in on the holiday party, just in case your members haven't heard yet, Shannon?
We have our Christmas party coming up on December 7th. That is a members-only event, and it's a casino night. It's going to be fun, and they can win some prizes. And it's going to be held at Far Oaks Golf Course, which is owned by one of our members of the HBR. So we try to do business within our circles. You know, we want to support the community, but that's why it's so important for businesses that are in the home building industry, whether they're contractors, suppliers, or a lender, to become a member of the HBR. We all work together as a very large family to promote those businesses and to work with consumers. And we go through a vetting process for our members. It's not just call the HBR, call Shannon, and I get to be a member. It is submitted to our board, first to our membership committee, and then it goes to our board for approval, because it's important that we have companies that offer quality products and they can stand behind it and the service, working with the consumers, because consumers depend on us. I get 10 to 15 calls a week at least from people going, hey, I'm looking for somebody. I need somebody that can do this. And they have faith and trust in the HBR, which is part of the National Association of Home Builders out of Washington, D.C. So it's another reason that businesses need to get involved with the HBR.
You know, that's a huge point, because, you know, so many times, I mean, you and I both know, and Mike, you know this too, there's 8 billion networking organizations, and I'm not dogging any of them, but to be able to be a part of something that's really industry specific for the business owner, but also a way to network that's not so intrusive, you know, going out to a Christmas party and talking about what we're working on, and maybe we could work together, or maybe we could help out down the road. I mean, to me, that's a huge incentive to be a part of this group, because you're actually talking to people that you're going to work with. You aren't talking to a financial accountant, you know, from Timbuktu that you may never, you know, actually need to network with and actually work together on stuff.
Oh, absolutely. And our members, they are constantly helping each other out. I can't tell you how many times I've sent a text message to another home builder who's a quote unquote competitor, you know, hey, I really need help getting a hold of this or getting this subcontractor. Do you have any recommendations? And we always try to step up and help each other. Same thing with subs. Hey, I'm looking for work. I'm slowing down. You know, they'll text us and then, hey, try this member, and then we make phone calls. So it's really a cool, tight-knit organization where we do try to help one another out. Even though we're all quote-unquote competitors, we're still kind of like a big family over here.
You know, CJ, the other thing I'm going to add to that really quick is that if they're all local. You know, how many times a storm comes to the area, right? And you get those 10 knocks at the door because it's a roofing company from out of town. And you don't know, right? You're not sure. What am I getting? Who is this? Are they tied into the community? Our members are local. They're in the 20 counties that we cover in Illinois and a few out of Missouri even. You know, about 15% of our members are from the Missouri side because they do business on this side of the river. So that makes me proud as the executive officer of this association to go, you know what? I know all these people. They're local. They're in our backyard. We know how they do business.
That's a huge point. And it really goes back to what, you know, you both were saying about that community support, you know, and time again, you go down and you go and see any park and rec league in the area, and 9 times out of 10, you're going to have a contractor or some type of trade business on their jerseys, making sure that those kids have an opportunity to play. And that, to me, you know, you don't see Jeff Bezos doing that. Just my thought. I'll get off my soapbox. Circling back to the Home Expo, which is March 8th, 9th, and the 10th at the Belle Claire Fairgrounds. Free admission, free parking, and accepting donations for the Area Humane Society. And take me through this, Shannon. So what's the big thing? I mean, the hot tub for $18,000, I think, has got the entire city of Alton up to Belleville on March 8th. But fill me in if you could on some of the ins and outs and just the components, so that way we can keep everybody updated as we keep talking throughout the months.
Sure. So the expo will open at 11 a.m. on Friday, the 8th, and it'll run until 5 p.m. that evening. On Saturday, it's 9 a.m. until 6 p.m., and on Sunday, it's 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. So they've got lots of different opportunities to come walk through. Again, there's going to be 100+ booths there. So plan on spending a few minutes, because you're going to have the opportunity to talk to a lot of different companies. Get their advice, get their experience, find out about the newest and latest and greatest products in the home industry. Then there'll be performances every hour on the hour at the expo from different organizations, from karate, band. We even have a drone club and a robotics club that's going to be participating in doing, a presentation of robotics. So there's a big variety of things that people can watch and enjoy. They can enter to win. All of our vendors at this expo and the companies that are there will be donating items that will be given away throughout the 3 days. And then you can get ideas. You know, but back in the day, CJ, and I'm not going to go too far back. I don't want to date myself, but before I worked at the HBR, it was a mainstay for my husband and I to go every year to a home show, because we were always, especially when we were just starting out in our home, right? We were always looking for new ideas. I want to do this to the house. I really want to do an add-on to the house. We want to put a new patio in. We want to get new appliances. And I could get ideas there. And I could talk to people that understood that. And let's face it, we've become a very digital society. And there's something missing with that. At this expo, consumers have the opportunity to have that face-to-face, one-on-one conversations, touch the products, ask their questions, see visuals. And that's a whole different experience than sitting behind my screen looking to buy something. So we want to bring that person-to-person communication and touch to people. And I think we all are hungry for that, especially after being stuck in our houses for a year during the COVID process. We're away from that now, and now it's time to get back and start talking to businesses face-to-face again.
100% over. I mean, I couldn't agree with you more on that, Shannon. Hey, before I let you two go for right now, because, Shannon, I think it's funny. I have 15 minutes, and here we are 20 minutes later talking, because I just love every bit of this. I mean, the Home Expo is going to be a fantastic event. There's going to be thousands of people there. But also, I love this opportunity that we're doing together when we spotlight some of the trade programs and some of the opportunities that are around, whether it's in a profile spotlight, whether it's in just an overview spotlight. And the first one that we did was on Take. Could you give us a little bit more of that overview, because you're going up there again today? But just for our audience that maybe read that but wanted a little bit more, could you fill us in on just a tiny bit more of that?
Yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about it, then I'm going to have Mike talk about it too. But Take is an amazing organization that takes kids that are coming from areas that might be a little bit rough, and they've had some tough times growing up, and they give them an opportunity to go through a training program and learn some of the basic skills to build a home. They learn a little bit about everything, a little bit about plumbing, a little bit about drywall, a little bit about roofing, a little bit about foundations. And then when they complete that program, they have the opportunity to apprentice with our HBR members. So they can go to work for one of our companies, and their salaries and their income is paid for by a grant. And then those kids have an opportunity to let that turn into full-time jobs. And it's a wonderful program. And Mike and I had the privilege, he's spoken a couple of times at some of their commencement ceremonies. And we're really proud to be partnered with them and working with them to promote those kids and give them opportunities in the construction field. Mike?
No, absolutely. These young men and women, and it's both. It's men and women. Mm-hmm. They come onto our job sites, and they've done everything from framing to siding to solar, just on the houses and the projects that we work on. And it's a great opportunity. They get the basic skills, and then they're already trained when they come into the workforce full time. And the money they make right out the gate, not having gone to college, is over $20 an hour starting, with benefits that are another $12 to $13 an hour between retirement and health care.
Wow.
So they're making $60,000+ a year out the door, just starting. And then through the apprenticeship program, when they become like a journeyman, they're over $120,000 a year in 4 years of total compensation between salary and benefits. So it's just a great opportunity. Our industry is such a rewarding industry for any young person who wants to join the trades. And it doesn't matter if you're an electrician, a plumber, a framer, a sider. You know, our industry affects almost 20% of the economy, you know, so we just have such a huge impact in our local market here.
That's just huge. And I mean, I didn't even realize that with the salaries. And especially, too, have you noticed with this that more and more interest with take has grown interest for younger populations? Has it been a little bit of a snow globe effect?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the more that I think young people hear that it's an option, because we got away from that starting in the 80s and especially in the 90s and the early 2000s. Everybody talked about college, and that's all they talked about. And there's been a shift back, CJ, and the HBR is working hard to make sure that shift continues, that students know, and they know at a young age, right? Starting early. It's a choice. It is an option. You can have a career starting out making 60,000 plus and not have all that debt on your back or on your parents' back. And you got to think about this. We all have to have a home to live in or an apartment to rent, and we have to have buildings to work in and buildings to eat in, and we have to have people that are trained coming up the pipeline to build those things. Because a lot of, as we've talked about before, the median age in Illinois is about 56 of the trades industry. Those people are going to be retiring. We've got to have people that want those opportunities that are out there and that are not going away.
100%. And Shannon, I just love speaking with you, and I really love the spotlights that we're starting to roll out, and I'm excited to see the ones that are coming out for this month. Mike, it was my pleasure to speak with you today, sir, as well. And I'm sorry, I always say 15 minutes, and I might have to, I just start saying 20 to you guys now.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Oh, anytime.
CJ, it's been great, as always, and I look forward to next month. And remember that your members can always go to the HBRMEA.org website, the information about the Home Expos there, information about what we're doing and the organization. Any companies out there listening, reach out to us, see if you're a good fit for the association. We'd love to talk to you.
And we'll link that on the on-demand replay video, and we'll link it on the article as well. So anybody that's watching or reading on the article can follow along at home, if that sounds cool, Shannon.
Sounds awesome. Thank you, CJ.
Thanks to both of you. Have a great rest of your Tuesday and enjoy going up and speaking to the kids, Shannon. Knock them dead.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
9:43 the time on a Tuesday morning. We'll take a quick one. Daily Show comes back to you next.